Like it louder?
What?
Would you like it louder?
Oh, what?
Do you want it louder?
Oh, no, I think it's okay. I don't need to be too loud.
Okay, cool. Everybody, Tiny Vipers.
Hi. I made a little different lyrics just because it's a poetry night for me. So, them. And I tried to print them in the right order of my set, but I don't know, I have a hard time doing it. So I'll just say the song I'm going to play and then we're going to go to it. Cool. This first song is called Development.
Huh?
That's Tiny Vipers.
It's been 1,000 years since I've been here. I do believe that I've played for the last time, and they'd all come out and talk about you like you were dead. Oh, just see how they're taking outside the diamond. And I saw you walking by. And the years go by and I'm still trying to understand how humans really out there. Here it goes, this town could build around you 'cause they're moving forward. And you're still wondering. But if we could talk and we could laugh just for one last time, and turn the clock back. Those buildings that were built after gone away would all come crashing down. And I wouldn't laugh like me, wouldn't laugh back before they came. And turn this city green. He's gonna die. I feel his heart dying. He's gonna this moment was waiting for him. Catching a ride with someone someone last night. A man who was convinced that his legs were broken. He walked up to my station and told me he was trying to escape someone, but his legs were too shattered to run. Unconsolable, he kicked the control panel in the elevator until my legs are shattered. And ever since that night, we all take the stairs, 'cause ever since that night, the elevator has been broken. I think I knew you once. Do you know my face? Are you one of us? Are you just passing by? Where have you gone? To some place that you saw and thought you'd go someday, if the rain should stop. How'd you find the time? And will you find your way back home tonight? Where has the day gone? Who is to blame for us? Never having the time. Who is to blame for us? Never knowing me someplace that I won't ever find again. Who are you?
Do this. 50 wins and a voice for each. Flavorless host, receiving our million grieving feelings. Math marries us to the old moon, born in the arms of the new. February 7th, drizzly, late winter dark, 3 months before she died. She called me late for a ride to the grocery store. Fields took over putting Fit to bed. I drove the half-mile to meet her at her door. She barely spoke the whole trip. Subdued, hot-eyed, silent on the dark drive there and back, I helped her back up to her place with her bags, and she suddenly pushed open some barrier in herself. She was haunted, she said, by her last trip up to clean her mom's cottage, her first since Grandma's second husband had died. Seeing her mom drifty, forgetful, angry, day-drinking gin with a pile of unopened mail from her second husband's estate telling her she needed to move out within a month. My mom set herself down on her folding couch, head still up, bird alert, blazing hot, still talking. I shelled her canned beans, kombu, masa, and dry pasta, then sat across from her, listening ears on. It was clamped down dark outside. The west windows full of the rain-smeared chromium light of warehouses and rail depots. And it wasn't just her mom, she said. She'd also lost her friendship with Kay, the gentle Jesuit. A decade before, she met Kay in Bolivia. She was studying Spanish at a Catholic foster care and indigenous legal aid center, and he was there doing civil rights work for political prisoners of Carlos Mesa's government. When she came back to Seattle and he to New York, they kept in touch until she told him this month when she'd mistaken his words of prayer for care and a letter for a love note and had poured her longing heart out to him. His reply, not unkind but absolutely firm, set boundaries on their future communication. She cursed him, burnt the great end off their friendship and permanently severed correspondence. And it wasn't just Kay, she said. She was repulsed. Repulsed that the Pope had that week reaffirmed the finality of the Church's ban on the priesthood. This narrow, controlling bullshit, this same bullshit, as if the only reason God came to earth was to look after male mediocrity. And it wasn't just the Pope, she said. The rain socked her body still rigid. She remembered, she said, crying on her bed, beloved, begging God to make himself known as dishes shattered downstairs and her parents screamed at each other. And there was never an answer, she told me. Never a response to all her anguish and longing. It was another decade. I was 5 years out of my parents' nightmare before the desperation cooled off inside me, and one day in prayer, knock, knock, I could hear. There was that living presence, right there to embrace me, there to draw me in, there flowing like a fountain inside my own heart. It was real, you know, and that's something no church, no trifling dipshit in his robe, no company man with a suit and checkbook can ever take away from me. June 20th, 6 weeks after. Coffee cools outside, starlings purr, and the camellia limbs leaning over a rotten old porch. A robin flies from shed to shrub to the tree's crown. His beak full of dry, stuffing grass, day pressing bluely on the half-shut blinds. And today's reading, the priest is to brave the unending hymn of your glory alive in the renewed life of the season, and to ask that we may be drawn from earthly desires to a longing for the things of heaven.
Blue Jow, yeah.
Blue Jow. Blue Jow. Blue Jow, everyone.
Blue Jow.
Hey, you made it.
I've got 3 poems and a chapter from a little story I wrote. Very
perception, and they exist concurrently without context, but they are not the same thing. They are the context, but in different ways, and they don't contradict each other. There has never been you. In the far-off year of 2012, a vast mycological network of tree life will collectively decide humanity's worthiness to cohabitate the earth. They will agree that the human scourge will need to be removed and that deliberate action through inaction will suffice. As the widespread escalation of dogmatically motivated thought had already condemned them to a bitter and horrific death, this ritual suicide will be guaranteed by large quantities of orbital trash that perpetually entomb the planet, making the surface an inescapable limit for dread and people alike. Suffering as value will become the mainstream mode of participation, and the lawyers will all kill themselves after long and successful careers. The ghost ships of all human systems will pilot themselves into their respective journeys, and no one will intervene. Simply living as a person will not only pose a major risk to itself, but actively detriment all other life. It will be over 30,000 years before another flower is able to bloom without plastic in its calyx. There is no more substrate. There is no more power. There is only hell for all of the people of planet Earth. There is no salvation or lunar colony capable of delivering us from redemption. All trees go to heaven, all people go to hell.
Next one is a chapter from a short story I wrote when I was living in South Carolina. It's, amongst other things, about self-immolation, codependence, and the spectacle of illusion. I am a bleeding dove hawk and crawl across the sky. The rocky motion circulates my Sanusian fluid, folding the laminar into turbulent centripetal. A sickening nausea fills the absence of my lower entrails in a wretched flux of oily emulsion. The hydrocarbons' buoyancy lifts them to the surface density ladder forking in my guts. I fight against the mounting discharge and begin to salivate the numb acetone that coats my taste. Convulsions anticipate a tense, sickening forwardly I hold. The overriding forces itself through my headers and out of my mouth. I expedite my weakness by giving in. Jericho trumpets hail my failure against impulse as airless, gagging chokes forward first to my insides. I erupt, a black fouling ichor that atomizes and pours me into the environment. Another contraction wrenches my locus and vomits forth a thin mist of tar. The involuntary response punches my psyche and rips out tears of suspended carbon dust that form tiny hexagonal lattices as they fall from my eyes. I continue to spray forth brackish sludge that leads the air. Gradually, water replaces the oil as the last of my innards are spilled. My mouth is jet burnt sputter, and exhaust steam that washes through my motion sickness. The hot water bleeds through my eyes and faceplate, flushing everything with sanitizing paper. I am like a newborn pup, having the emergent embryonic fluid wiped clean by towels, pained but fresh and relieved. I am lucid for another period pending the restless balance unseating and repeats the cycle. I envy the unsick, for they can live unencumbered by this dreadful embrace. Thank you.
things up, we call that avoiding your emotions and the people staring at you. That's what it usually is. Tonight's been so great. Can we have more applause for Tom Scully and Tiny Vipers as well, and Blue Jow.
Thank you.
So all of the music and noise, and that's kind of definitely the last couple of months on poetry thing. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly a format in terms of like volume level, poet to musician level. It's all kind of very fun figuring out on poetry, because it's like, I think people expect it to be one thing, and then that's kind of cool because they want it to be poetry. But then it's kind of like, well, I love like all these different things, and I know all these different people, and I go to all these different shows. So it's kind of like, why, if I'm opening space for all these poets and writers and that I admire and that I know and that are doing all these amazing things, why can't you open up space for all this kind of avant-garde music, or just kind of left of the center music, or, you know what I mean? So it's kind of it's this interesting thing. Like, what poetry to me more than anything is less an event series and more just like this odd art project, which I've said a million times before. And I guess that's kind of the trip of it, right? That's why, like, what a fun ride that was, right? To go from like Tom Scully to like then Vicente Huidobro poems, to then Tiny Vipers, to then J. Keenis Thompson, who I read after, who is a local poet here who just released a book, to then whatever Val did. That was fucking insane, right? And then I asked Val to come because I was like amazed by their writing, and then that happened, and I was like, that's fucking amazing that fucking can happen, right? So I guess the whole trip of me trying to figure it all out is like, I don't know, what's the point of doing this if I can't have a little fun, you know? And I hope it's interesting. I hope it's worthwhile to the people who perform. I hope it's worthwhile to the people who come, and it's like, I guess I'm just learning it as we go. It's so fun to me. If anything, it's all for me, and then it's just me filming everything, so it turns into like this exercise in me trying to live film everyone, which is really fun. And that's kind of, that's what happened today. If this is your first on poetry, or if it's a bunch of your on, like the millionth on poetry, and you're still like, what the fuck just happened to me? It's like, well, it wasn't like to you. It was just this kind of trippy idea, right? I wanted lots of guitar music, and then I wanted a poet, and then sometimes that's what happens. And I'm fucking fine with that. And I hope it's interesting, at the very least, or engaging creatively. I hope you can go home and at least write about like this idea of like just what you just ingested, right? It's one thing to go to a poetry reading, it's another thing to kind of go to a poetry reading and then be kind of bombarded with all this stuff. And then, believe it or not, I do find musicians and noise musicians who can rise to this call. I tell everyone, like, well, if you can keep it like a 6 to 10 volume, then that would be cool. If not, like, I totally respect that. And most everyone does, and they answer that call like kind of in their own strange way, right? Even if it's less volume, like just having noise at a lesser volume plus a shouting of poetry is in itself this kind of phenomenal experience that you don't even necessarily get, right? If you have the room to run, then you tend to pick volume. But a lot of the musicians I find are just so wonderful, they don't need that. They can fucking make it. And that's also kind of the limits I place on myself, right? I'm a multidisciplinary person. I kind of do whatever I'm about to do, and then poetry, and then as well as film. So like, this always represents that version of that. And I guess that's what poetry is. And I don't know why I'm defining it so much. I guess when you do something for 2 years, and you do it, I mean, I'm doing, almost one on poetry a week until July, right? Until the end of July, which is fucking crazy. So if you're doing something with that consistency for so long, that's why I'm doing this now. Also, I like left work and didn't have any time to unprocess what the fuck just happened, so that's why you're dealing with this. But yeah, what else do we got? What else do we got here? I got the Poetry Lab. I do this thing called the Poetry Lab, which gives one artist or writer basically an hour of stage time, and that's going to happen on the 18th, and then on the 30th of May, Tom's going to perform again with Sandesh from Till the Teeth, which is going to be amazing. We have Quentin Baker, unless he bailed. That would be cool. Like to have Quentin Baker and then like Tom and Sandesh plus like, are you? No, you're reading another time. You're reading on June 1st. Anyways, I have a newsletter. I'm starting to lose track of my mind. Let's do something that's less whatever.
Yeah.
exhausted, holding out the nation, hand to table. In my past life, I was a wet loop, the guts of my stomach, sobering cold, without destroying a structure altogether, the mating starfield, a vanished lark. I bent like kaleidoscope, all those pretty recesses, the elements of everything was done. Too tired to tremble, doubt and glasses, mist of tessellation, the mist of cut, the mist of ingated waves that poured and spoke the particles, the shit of my nerves, flesh, long over each other blown. This the bar, broad cloud, and also asks for fives, and also sees us as many of them that it can grab. Situation, not with ears damaged full of chatter, our eyes vaulting for all flattery lights, meter syllable, played the world. This slab is the way they say I love you. These curtains are wings. These buttons are underground. These colors are laughter, mad love. Underbelly of the animal re-entry history throughout it. Wilderness only into the city. I hear the boundless sound of words for meditation, set waiting in the 10 minutes after work while it's not set. And there are so many other stories. They have been reading and writing out loud each week thanks to the unknown hustling. So much good news 9 to 5 in the data processing company with the nearly empty building by the graveyard to pick up to 5 cups of coffee a day and pursue reading. Visit with friends who have filled with unpoetry, all writing by names and mountains and sea. To sustain itself in mesh, to see the world is fluid and unholy, to believe that solid is to grant to yourself to deny itself, that all objects carry within them enough spaces to merge with ones and zeros. God will suppose it is always free. As it's fun, you simultaneously define and undefine. Each statement clearer and closer as the other fades away. This definition is equal parts imagination and memory, emotion and context, culture and family, and by so defining you get at the truest definition of a thing, which is the dissonance its known creates inside, the way it functions as opposed to the particle. And the Colorado Baptist is correction. Geopositional network mapping corporations do it. I wasn't sure if you did the first one or the second. From way back, with the desire for something, with the outloading of espionage and the influx of information, with its Cold War, its how much of our humanity remains in the influx of fear, signs of command from the animal momentum aftermath of exhausted holding out, waterlogged avenues, and how we increasing reality will now is the last place. Most distinctive distinction, when actual lived experience is verbal. I guess I call it exponential meaning, not as not as some pursuing a lofty goal, but calling expression meaning as an exercise of self-creation. To always question preconceived, to continue unearthing. Thanks for coming. Thanks, everybody. You have a good night. See you next time. Wow, barely. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I never get video of me.